Oh, so professional today. Oh, here we go. It's the Daily Freakout. I am frustrated and stuff. Trying to do stuff, trying to get stuff to work, and it just doesn't work, and it's so frustrating. And to have so few viewers as well. If you're watching this, you're part of a very select, small little group. And the longer you watch, the smaller and smaller that group becomes. And if you make it to the end, you're possibly the first person to ever do so. And it's so frustrating. You're trying to do a podcast, you're trying to entertain, you're trying to have a bit of fun yourself. You do everything you can to try to improve, to try to give people content that's good. And you see other people doing content and you're like, oh, it's not much. Why? How are they doing that? And they get lots of views, and it's weird. I just don't know. But I am enjoying doing it. I'm enjoying doing this, so it's not the end of the world. I love all the technology involved, even though today it was very frustrating getting cameras to actually connect and to work properly. I'm not sure exactly what I was doing right and wrong. I did a quick little live stream on TikTok, and that was actually kind of fun, sort of just spewing out random words and stuff. So yesterday, I did my usual posts on TikTok and got no views. I mean, 0. Like, normally I only get a few. I don't get much, but I got 0. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. Something's gone wrong there. Like, who's fiddling with my algorithm and my reach there? Like, I'm getting... No one's watching my shit. Why would they then drop it right down to actual 0? And I was very confused. And so that's been really frustrating because the same posts on other platforms did all right. Did my normal numbers, my normal shitty numbers. And today we're going to see what happens. I'll film the same stuff as I'm walking to the bus and we'll see what happens. Because fingers crossed, somebody watches something. Heaven forbid. Because they're missing out. Those people are missing out, the people that don't watch, because we've got content like this. We've got Jolly Dr. Dollywell and Horatio the Horseo.
If you want to know how old a horse is, all you have to do is look in his mouth. Now, let me try to guess how old you are. How old are you now? How old are you now? I think I can guess how old you are now.
That's right. Horatio the Horseo is being aged by Dr. Dollywell. Seriously, this record's amazing. It just goes all over the place. Who knows? Who expected that? I certainly didn't. Today we're going to talk about a couple of different things, and we'll start off, and we're doing things a little bit differently here, so bear with me. Let's see if this works. 81-year-old grandma streaming Minecraft to pay for grandson's cancer treatment has been swatted. Somebody I think I saw this on Reddit originally, and somebody posted that they hate the dystopian world that we live in. What's changed there? I've gone to cam 1 and cam 4. Oh well. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll cope. You'll cope. We'll all cope together. But now I'm annoyed because I don't want that. I don't want that to be there. Go away. Go away. Go away. There we go. The good thing about no one listening is that I can do this and take my time to adjust my settings and rearrange things. And so, look at that. It's worked. It has worked exactly how I was hoping it would. No, we've changed it up a bit there, and now there it is. Thank you very much. It's the same as before, but different. And the cool thing is I can do that, and it moves. So, the 81-year-old, this is from Sam Woods, published on the 20th of May in 2026 on The Gamer. An 81-year-old streamer playing through Minecraft until she beats it has been swatted with 20 police cars, 5 SWAT cars full of multiple SWAT officers, and drones arriving at her house. Now, the interesting thing here is not necessarily her reaction or the ads in the middle there, but swatting a streamer is completely illegal in the US and is often prosecuted as a felony. This is at both the state and federal levels. The most famous case came in 2018 when 25-year-old Tyler Barris tried to swat a streamer, but instead sent the police to the wrong address, and it ended with a father of 2 being shot dead by officers. Barris was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Good. He should have been given life, in my opinion. I am definitely a lefty. I am a hippie lefty. But if you do something like that, that's that stupid, and you're 25, you should be... Like, I know that a lot of people talk about how we're getting dumber and dumber and stuff, and 25-year-olds are now nowhere near as mature as 25-year-olds used to be. But if you're 25 and you think it's funny to send police to someone's house as a laugh to just see what happens on screen, then you're a terrible person. And if it results in that kind of situation of a father of 2 being shot dead, because quite understandably, if someone breaks into your house, you don't know what the hell's going on. And if they shout police, sure, a bad guy might shout police. And if you then, like in the United States, have a firearm and then return fire or fire and shoot to try and defend yourself, which is, I think it's kind of understandable. It's not necessarily the best idea, but it's kind of understandable. And the police then defend themselves by shooting back, and then a father of 2 ends up dead, and you caused that, then you should go to prison for 20 years. So I'm very against swatting. Obviously, as someone who's doing little live streams and videos and shit like that, I'm against it because it's never going to happen to me with the no people watching that I get. That is not a white power symbol, just to be sure. Just to make absolutely sure, I'm doing the OK symbol there. Just to be clear. I remember when I did a TikTok stream many years ago. Many years ago, it was like last year. Someone said, I was talking about, I think it was when Elon did the Nazi Zikal, and people were like, do it. And I was like, no, why would I do that? I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. Because I don't believe in Nazism, and I don't believe in doing that, because I think that certain things mean things. Anyway, this lovely lady, this is an amazing attitude to have. I was asleep. I did not want to get up, and these policemen came in the door. They locked me out. I didn't know what was going on, but it was kind of fun. My kid and my grandkid were hugging me. I don't get that kind of attention normally. Then I got to ride in a police car. I've never ridden in a police car before. Then it was all over, so I thought, well, I've got to go to bed. So I took an ibuprofen and went to bed. Like, what the hell? This lady's amazing. What a great attitude to have. But the lady was... we don't try and get rid of some of the advertising there, because I'm not getting any money from that. The lady was raising money for her grandson's cancer treatment by streaming video games. Can you... The insanity of swatting someone that's doing that. It really boggles my mind. And I hope this is a uniquely American thing. I don't think this happens here in Australia. I really hope not, because I really don't think that this is a good thing. This is just terrible. If you want to read the full article, go to thegamer.com and search 81-year-old grandma. You'd probably find it. Written by Sam Woods. Good little article there. It boggles my mind that anyone would do that and why they would do that, because I don't see the benefit. I don't see how you can... I don't see what the enjoyment is. Every time I've watched one of those quote-unquote swatting videos, it's not a positive thing. There was one time where a streamer was really out of it. Like he'd drunk a whole heap, and people were concerned. Like the stream was going, and he was just lying there, like out of it, and people were concerned, I think, and they sent somebody round, and because of he'd locked his doors or something, and they couldn't get in to wake him up. And it's that thing of, imagine being the cops in this situation. Like, I'm hard on cops because I think you should be. I think if you're going to give people that kind of power, just like politicians, if you're going to give people that kind of power, they need to be held really accountable, like really accountable. And so I'll critique police officers all day long, because they should be critiqued if they're going to be in that position. But at the same time, I have somewhat sympathy for them, because imagine they get the call, right, we've got this place, we've got a tip, we've got to go to this location, we don't know what we're going to find. They've got no intel on what they're going to find. And they literally go in, and in this case, they find a little old grandma. And if I was with the cops, I'd be pissed off, because there's a bunch of paperwork that then has to go with that they have to do. And it was absolutely for nothing, for no reason. Just because some idiot thought it would be funny to swat a little old grandma trying to raise money for her kid's cancer treatment. And so, yeah, as the cops, I'd be so pissed off. And then it just makes everything more difficult, because then it's like, well, who do they believe? Who do they trust and believe when they get a call? And sometimes they might get a legitimate call and they don't go to it because they're like, no, we think that's a bullshit call. So it's just, it's unproductive, and it's just pointless, and it's, ugh. And it's one of the more old man things that I have, where I'm just like, you stupid kids, why? As I said, I'm hard on cops because I think you should be, but at the same time, such a waste of valuable police time. It's like busting minor drug offences. Like, if people are just having some drugs in their own home and not hurting anyone, what a waste of valuable police time and resources. Obviously, they have to enforce laws, blah, blah, blah. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's talk about something much, much more enjoyable. This one comes from Discover Wildlife, which is a website from the team at BBC Wildlife Magazine. A platypus, not the way Jonathan Ross pronounces it, platypus, but it's a platypus. Even though the Y is there, so it kind of is platypus. So I kind of understand why you'd say... Anyway, doing little zoomies is the most adorable thing you will see all day. Footage captured in Australia shows one of the world's most peculiar animals playing in a creek. So, I'm an Australian. I've lived in Australia my entire life. I don't believe I've ever seen a platypus in real life. I think I may have seen one at a zoo one time, but I've definitely never seen one out in the wild. You'd have to know what to look for in terms of habitat, because they burrow under the banks of a river, like almost beavery, given that they've got a beaver tail. Almost beaver-like, they tunnel under the bank and then make their home, and then they only come out occasionally. And so it's hard to know where a platypus den, I want to call it, would be. There is some actual footage here. So let's steal some people's footage. Oh, what's going on there? There we go. And so these people were very lucky. This is very unprecedented for a little platypus to do this. Look at him go. Oh, or her. I don't know. And that's about all we get. Platypus often digs around the bottom of the lake to agitate the sediment as a form of foraging for aquatic invertebrates. So then you look for ripples, blah, blah, blah. Australia is seriously such an incredible place with all this native wildlife. Well, everywhere's got native wildlife, so let's not put Australia up too much more. Oh, there's some more footage. I didn't know there was more footage. So I believe that's tan there, and there we go. Look at that. That is fantastic. They very much are beaver-like. I want to just see roughly where I didn't pay attention enough to the art or read the article. In Brisbane, there we go, up in Brisbane. I actually wasn't aware that they were up in Brisbane. I thought they were more of a Victoria, Tasmania type or animal, but apparently they're up in Brisbane too, which is great. Good for Brisbane. Fantastic little animals. I absolutely love them. They're because they're so unique and just crazy in terms of all their different things. Evidence of evolution, evidence of prehistoric animals being able to survive and continue on. Plus, they've got the little spur, which makes them quite dangerous, and you shouldn't mess with them. Plus, I feel like Australians have a certain reverence for them, where it's just like, leave them alone, let them do their thing. We don't need to worry them. We don't need to interrupt their lives. Just leave them alone. Let them do their thing. And if you get a chance like this to see one and to watch one, do it. Film it. Don't tell anyone exactly where it is, but film it and put it up online so we can all watch and we can enjoy the platypus, and we can, again, just leave them alone, because they are beautiful little animals and we don't want to mess with them. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Tooth, my master didn't brush his teeth, and now all his are loose. Cock-a-doodle-dooth, my dame has lost her tooth. My master didn't brush his teeth, and now all his are loose.
That's fantastic. I love the all his are loose. That's because your teeth aren't loose. You're talking about someone else's teeth who are loose, but you said loose. You've now got a lith. Again, I don't know. There's no track listing on this thing, so I don't know what we're listening to and where we're getting it from and all that kind of stuff. And there's no inner sleeve or anything, so fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Something that's not necessarily, it's not from here, but I think it's somewhat relevant, is what Mamdani is doing over in New York. I'm not a religious person. In fact, I don't like religion. I think religion is bad. I think religion divides us. I think the philosophies of religion can be very good, and I think philosophical discussion around things that religion deals with is good. Organized religion, bad. But you cannot argue that some people are good people, and their religion happens to be part of what makes them good, and that aspects of their religion make them good. And so when an Australian politician like Pauline Hanson says stupid things like all Muslims are bad, then piss off, Pauline. That's a stupid comment. As much as I don't like religion, I'm never going to say that all people of a certain denomination of religion are bad, because that's just clearly not the case. Mamdani is a Muslim, but he's also a social democrat, democratic socialist, sorry. All these labels and definitions and stuff are just ridiculous. And he is doing stuff that's fantastic over in New York at the moment. Apparently, he has reduced the debt to the point of like evening out the books. He's taxing people who are wealth hoarding, which I think is great. You can have wealth, you can have comfort, that's fine, but there's a limit. We live in a society, like to quote George Costanza, we live in a society. We live in the world's society. So that's why things like environmental protections are important, because people will do stuff on the other side of the planet that will affect us or affect you where you are. It matters. It does matter. And unfortunately, humans are selfish. Humans don't think ahead sometimes, and we do things that are terrible and that ruin the world for other people, for us, etc., etc. And people like Jeff Bezos, in my opinion, are terrible, and they do things that negatively affect the rest of the world, and they need to be restrained in some way. And so I have no problem, even though I'm anti-religion, having a Muslim in that kind of position, because according to what is being reported, and you never know, because some things get reported, some things don't, you never know, but from what he's doing, it seems like he's doing some really good stuff. But Jeff Bezos says taxing him more won't help teachers. Mamdani disagrees. I think it's probably more a matter of where it goes after it's been taxed. The AI overview here, we'll click on it. Jeff Bezos argued, and see, this is actually an all right place for AI, in my opinion. If someone like myself wants to just skim an article, if I can trust the AI to summarize the article well, then it's really not. It's kind of a good thing. I don't know. Yeah, it still feels awkward with AI, doesn't it? Jeff Bezos argued that increasing his tax burden would not directly help a low-income teacher and suggested a zero tax rate for the bottom half of earners, while NYC Mayor Zoran Mamdani defended his proposed pied-à-terre tax on wealthy residents and noted that he already pays billions in taxes. This is the thing. Jeff Bezos has got so much money that this kind of stuff really wouldn't affect him, yet he still has a whinge. Imagine if Jeff Bezos paid his staff better. Imagine if he paid the people. Now, I'm not saying that Jeff doesn't work hard, because a lot of these big business guys do work hard. They are constantly working, doing things, making deals, putting things into place that matter and stuff, and they should be compensated for that. And if you're the one who gets everything going and takes on the burden of doing it and blah, 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 then you should do really well from that. You should live a life of luxury if you can be successful in that way, for sure. So I look at myself and go, well, I'm struggling at times, and it's like, well, it's because I've made bad decisions. I've made bad choices. There's no doubt about that. We can get into the psychology of fate and decision making and all that kind of stuff, and whether your mental health affects you and blah blah blah. But I've made bad decisions. There's no doubt about it. There's no question. I struggle to do certain things, so maybe that's part of it. But Jeff Bezos has worked hard. Absolutely, he should get good benefits from all that hard work that he's put in place. But there's a limit. There's a certain amount of money where you just have too much money and it's like, no, you're done. That's enough. You don't need any more money. It's like that thing of, if you've got $1 billion and you lose $1 million, is that going to matter? Is it? If you've got $100 million and you lose $2 million, is that going to matter? If he paid his staff better, and you didn't hear terrible stories coming out of Amazon, then maybe people would like him and Amazon better, and he wouldn't have to worry about all the bullshit that comes along with being Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? Jeff Bezos appeared on CNBC and said he could pay more in taxes, but it would not help a teacher in Queens. Bezos suggested that the bottom half of US earners should have a 0% income tax rate, and that they currently contribute only about 3% of total taxes. Bezos said villainizing billionaires is the wrong approach to solving fiscal problems. Zoran Mamdani promoted a pied-à-terre tax aimed at increasing taxes on wealthy New York residents who own multiple homes. Mamdani stated that he pays billions of dollars in taxes each year. Wait, does Mamdani pay them or does Bezos pay them? I don't know. The wonderful thing about all these tax things, and we just had a budget here in Australia that everyone's talking about positives and negatives of this budget, and depending on where you are and where your income comes from and stuff, it matters and stuff. I like the idea, and I like the idea of the bottom half of earners having 0% income tax. That's kind of good. Because I like the idea of promoting working for an income. I don't like the way that if you've got an investment, you don't earn... Oh, what is that? Live recording has stopped. What? No. I don't know what's... Oh, okay, so that's not working. Great. Well, we'll get rid of that then. I like the idea that you earn from your work. Now, let's say you're Paul McCartney, you should earn more from doing a gig than I should if I do a gig. I can go do a gig and do all the same songs as Paul McCartney, but he should earn more. Because not only is he Paul McCartney, but he's also earned it by having this big, long career. So I've got no problem with him earning more money than me because he deserves that money, more money than me. I've got no problem with a business owner earning more than me because they are 24/7 on call, 7 days a week, solving all the problems, and I can say, hey, not my problem, and walk away. That's fine. But this discussion about taxes and stuff like that, if you invest in a business, should you get taxed on that income the same as someone who's working for that business? I would say that the person, even though the investment is important, I would say the person working at that business should get a better tax rate on their income from that business than the person who invested. The person who invested should still get taxed, and taxed well. I don't know enough about taxes and accounting, though, to really have a full big opinion. I listened to a podcast called Lamestream and their breakdown of the budget recently. And I really don't know where I stand on some of this budget stuff because it is quite complicated in that some people say this and that, and you shouldn't tax capital gains tax is good, and some people say it's bad, and it's this, and it's just like, what the hell? It has got to the point where it is so complicated, and we make all these, and people try to do little benefits and little this and that to benefit people, and it does work, and then it doesn't work, and then who knows what's going on. And then there's always going to be the people who have read the rules. It's like playing Monopoly. They've read the rules, and they've worked out how to game the system. And they've worked out, hey, we do this, we put all our money over here in this trust account, and then you take money from that, you don't get taxed on that as much as this, and so that way you don't have to pay as much taxes. And then there's people out there who are literally like, I don't understand any of this, I'm too stupid to understand any of this, and so I get screwed over, and my life's in the toilet, and it's shit, and it's difficult. And then you bring into it all other sorts of issues. And unfortunately, there's always going to be people like Jeff Bezos who try to game the system and think that they deserve more or better just because they worked out how to game the system, to break the rules or to manipulate the rules, even if it's not illegal or anything. I like the idea that Jeff Bezos should pay more taxes than a teacher in Queens, because a teacher in Queens is more valuable to the world than a guy who runs a website that treats its staff like shit. Anyway, I am not the most... I'm definitely not the most educated person on this stuff. So if you've got a comment and an idea and a thought on that kind of thing, please put it in the comments, let me know, because part of what I want to do with this little podcast is to get more knowledgeable, because I don't have enough of the information, and I want more, and I want to know things better, and I want to constantly evolve and change. Let's listen to a tiny little bit more from Dr. Dollywood and Dolly Well and Horatio the Horseo.
Eat and brush your teeth, and healthy you will grow-o.
We want to grow up healthy, cried the little farm animals.
Oh, healthy we will grow-o, grow-o, grow-o. We mind what we eat and brush our teeth, and listen to Horatio. We listen to Horatio, and that is how we know that if we want to grow healthily, we visit a dentist regularly.
And so regularly, twice a year, Farmer Shea took the little farm animals into town to have their teeth checked by Horatio the Horseo. And they all lived healthily ever after.
Aw, that's nice. What a What a happy ending to the record. Absolutely love this one. Beautiful record. And as I've said, as I throw it around, if you have listened to this point and watched to this point of the show, and you send me your address, I will send you Jolly Dr. Dollywell. I don't want to, because I quite like this record, and I want to do some stuff with it in the future. But if you've actually watched this far, I will send it to you, and you can have that record. And I'll send you another couple of records to add to it as well, make it really worthwhile. And you can tell people that you were one of the first viewers of the Daily Freakout to make it all the way to the end. Speaking of the end, this is the end. Thank you so much for tuning in and making it this far. If you have, because you're beautiful, because not many people do. As I said, TikTok's not giving me views, and YouTube Live is not getting very many views. We're getting more views, but not many. And if you've made it this far, you're awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Daily Freakout. Hopefully on Monday we'll do a much better show. Today, I'm just glad I did one on Friday, to be honest. But Monday, I've got some ideas and some things that I want to start up next week. It's always changing, always evolving, and it's fantastic. And I appreciate it if you've made it this far. Thank you very much. This is the Daily Freakout. You're beautiful. Stay beautiful. Goodbye.